All right, so we have five, the podcast that lists five things. We have Mike, we have Jay. Apparently, we have people from Spain that listen to us. So, shout out to our Spanish.
Yeah, we're big in Spain. Thank you.
Yeah, Spanish brothers and sisters.
That's right.
There's like, you ever hear that story
Send
about
me a jamon.
What?
I was asking them to send me a jamon.
What's that?
It's a ham. It's a really nice ham.
Man, I want to eat my way through Europe one day. Just like go from like every country and just eat my way.
I hear you.
Germany wouldn't be interesting, but France and Spain would.
Germany's pretty good.
It's like meat, right?
Yeah, like worse.
Yeah,
and,
I'm not into that.
Meatloafs and stuff like that.
I'm good. I'm all right. But today we're talking about something that I'm interested in, and I think a lot of people my age are interested in. To Gen Xers, that's video games and video game consoles. I've had several video game consoles in my life. I love video game consoles. I don't collect them, but I do enjoy having one.
Yeah.
And I have got my list in my head. It's all mentals.
You know what's a shame?
What's that?
Is that us in our middle age, we've had... So I've had like all three consoles at once now recently because I can afford them, but I have no time to play them.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like
when I was young, I could only afford one console,
and you had plenty of time.
And I had all the time in the world to play it. But now I can afford all three and can't play them. Yeah,
that's kind of like, but hey, Mike, and I am 48 years old. I am going to retire in hopefully 14 years, 16 years, something like that. And that's like nothing. And then that's it. I'm going to be playing video games. And like my hands are already at that point and my reflexes are at that point.
Yeah, I hope Fortnite's still around.
Yeah, it probably will be. But my hands are at that point. My reflexes are at that point where I can't compete with like heavy shooter games, like in competitive games. I'm not fast enough anymore.
Right.
And I'm starting to feel that. Like, ugh, can't do that. But, okay, my first console. This is my number 5 console. This is also my first console. This is one of my favorite consoles is the Sega Genesis. And if people remember, the Sega Genesis was in competition with the original Nintendo. Right, Mike? Not the Super Nintendo. It was just the Nintendo.
Yeah, I think it was just the Nintendo.
Yeah, and so you had Sega Genesis. No, was it Super Nintendo?
I don't think so. What was before? Was there just a Sega before the Sega Genesis?
There was a Sega. It was a Sega something. But then the Sega Genesis was... So the Sega Genesis, that's...
Maybe it was Super Nintendo.
It might have been Super Nintendo, I can't remember. But Sega Genesis was like the console...
I had neither a Super Nintendo nor a Sega Genesis.
Well, you didn't? Wow.
Nope.
Why not?
I don't know.
You never had Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo?
Nope. I had a Nintendo.
Hang on. Super Nintendo, when did it come out? I don't know. 1990s.
I had a Pong machine before the
Super Nintendo came out in 1990, so I definitely was the Sega Genesis was definitely competing against the regular Nintendo.
Okay,
that's for sure. Sega Genesis came out. Wow, it was expensive. Oof.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe my mom got me this thing.
How much was it?
It had to be $200. You know what? No, that's true.
I bet it was more.
It might have been pretty expensive. I remember asking for it for Christmas, and I just didn't think I'd get it. Like, of course, I was just like, I'm never gonna get this thing. And I woke up Christmas morning. You know what? I think it was a Super Nintendo because Sega Genesis came out the same year. So it might have been. But I remember waking up for Christmas, and it was under the tree. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I was like, it was the greatest surprise in Christmas history. And you know what? I think I was like 16. So yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I love that thing. I loved it. I played Sonic the Hedgehog. I played Road Rash. I played
Sonic the Hedgehog was good, yeah.
I played Sonic the Hedgehog without dying. I got to the point where I could go through Sonic the Hedgehog without dying once.
That's like the game for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I had a friend that had one in high school.
Mm-hmm. My sister used to watch me just play it. You know, it was fun. And then my mom got mad.
That was your first gaming console?
Yeah, my first console. Okay, what about you?
I had a Pong machine, and then I had a Nintendo, but neither one of those are my number 5.
All right.
My number 5 is the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's kind of late in the game, Mike.
Well, I'm not doing these chronologically. These are just like in order of being my favorite.
What games were in the GameCube?
Well, the thing about the GameCube is it had that controller, and I still think that's maybe one of the best video game controllers. Like, you should have, like, the main button that you use should be bigger than every other button, I think, you know?
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it had, so like the A button was like a big yellow button. It was like in the center. So it was really easy to hit. And then like the other buttons had different shapes. The other buttons had different shapes.
I remember
and
this.
Stuff, you know?
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this. This is kind of.
I think that's what the PlayStation and the Xbox should copy.
No, absolutely not.
That should be.
No.
It'd be easier for people to use.
This might be the ugliest controller I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, man.
It looks like a controller made for people who don't know how to use controllers.
Well, that's like 80% of the population.
Well, I don't care about them.
Okay. It had Wind Waker, which is probably my second favorite Zelda game of all time.
Okay. Yep.
Smash Bros. Melee.
Smash Bros. People used to love.
Did you ever play that?
People used to love Smash Bros. I never played it, but people used to love Smash Brothers. They used to play that all.
You've never played it?
No. I just saw people play it, and it looked fun, but I never got into it. But
it's good.
People used to love Smash Brothers. Like, people used to love that game. It was on the same level as like Fortnite or like the other games like that now.
Oh yeah, wow. For sure.
And that was listen, listeners, especially for you young kids listening, all you Gen Zs and Gen Dooms, whatever. Like, we did not have streaming. We did not go online and stream our gameplay. We just played for fun. There was no achievements. There was no like loot. You just played because it was fun to do.
Was not a thing.
Yeah. And like the idea of unlocking things based off your achievements in games, that happened way later.
We may have had a high score screen.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah,
but it's mostly just your accomplishments, like you knowing that you did, and it was just fun to do. It was just fun.
Right.
All right, Mike.
Like I beat Punch Out. You know, that's like something you could say.
Yeah, and Mike Tyson's Punch Out was
tell people that you beat Punch Out,
was legitimately hard. Beating Mike Tyson Punch Out felt impossible. Like, I can't do this.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was a legit hard game. Was that on Nintendo?
I think it was Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Atari, of course. They were the first ones ever to have a console. Even though it was crappy, we have to give.
I had one of those too.
Yeah, you have to give it some love and respect. All right, so my next console, I think.
You got to remember though that Resident Evil 4 came out on the GameCube.
Oh wow, that's a big hit.
And that was a huge.
Yeah.
Like so many games are aping the style of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So
my next console is the original PlayStation.
Same. Just mine's also number 4. Yeah.
I would say I'm not going to call it the perfect console, but it hit at the perfect time, the perfect price point. It had great games. The games were on a disc. It was like this is the future of gaming, and I had a great time on my PlayStation. I had just an enormous amount of fun. An unreasonable amount of fun with my PlayStation. I think everybody did. Like, that PlayStation was super popular. The controller was great. The games were great. It's just wonderful.
It had Gran Turismo on it.
Yeah.
It had Battle Arena Toshinden. Did you ever play that?
Nope.
That's like one of my favorite fighting games of all time. I keep hoping somebody would like remake it, but they never do.
No, yeah. What was it?
Wipeout?
Yeah, Wipeout.
Are you kidding me?
So good. Yep.
That's like one of the best games of all time.
Metal Gear.
Yep, Metal Gear.
Woo! So good.
Ridge Racer.
Yep.
Tekken.
Yep. Wow.
Tekken was made for the controller because each button on the controller controlled one of the limbs of the guy's body while you're fighting.
Yeah, I think Metal Gear Solid is probably still one of the best games ever made. God of War was on there? Wow. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Yeah, PlayStation, like Shadows of the Colossus. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I never really played that.
It was
but
a big hit.
I hear really, really good things about it.
Yeah, no. Oof. Yeah, it was so.
I was a Wipeout guy. I even bought the Namco made a controller called the Negicon where you could like twist it. Mm-hmm. You could use that for steering and Wipeout. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, PlayStation was like it was just a great console.
Wipeout was amazing.
It looked cool. The controller felt good, and the controller had the 2 thumbsticks for it felt like the first time. So you had these 2, and like you could decide, I want to use the thumbsticks or I want to use the regular controller. It's just
did it have 2 or did it just have
2?
1?
Yeah, 2 on each side.
1 on each side.
Yeah, one thumbstick on each side. Yeah, and so you had to get used to using it if you wanted to. I never really got used to using it, not until later. But yeah, it was just great. It had rumble. The controllers had rumble. I can't believe the controllers had rumble. That's crazy.
That must have been something you added in because they, like the regular controllers, definitely did not have rumble.
I don't know. I remember getting a PlayStation and having rumble in it.
Because you plugged them in. Remember, they weren't wireless. You plugged them in, and they were really light.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah.
PlayStation, just a great console overall. Perfect in every regard. All right, my next number 3, and this I'm not doing this as far as like best. I'm just doing it as far as like
mine are just like favorites.
Yeah, favorites.
Yeah.
The original Xbox. This is when things got real for me. Like Xbox. That's when Halo came out, and it's
I did not have an original Xbox.
Oof. Did you ever? You've played Halo.
I played a little bit of Halo. Yeah.
With Halo, I remember a friend of mine. He said, "Come over." I said, "Okay." I came over and he had the Xbox, and it was this massive big brick. And I was like, "What is that?"
Oh yeah.
It's like, what is that? He's like, "This is go." He said, "This is a preview copy." He's like, he was part of a street team, which is like he was going to go out and hand out flyers, put posters up. He's like, "This is a preview copy. It's not out yet, but this is called an Xbox, and it's going to change gaming." I'm like, "Whatever." And then he started playing Halo. I was like, "Whoa! This is crazy!" Like Halo changed everything about gaming. That game was so good, and it's still one of the best games I've ever played. And it wasn't just the Xbox had the power to run the game, but it was the story itself that was just the shooting. Everything about Halo was absolutely it was ridiculous. And then you started doing LAN parties. Have you ever done a LAN party, Mike?
I did those in college. Yeah.
Right, so when you get what did you do on the computers?
We did it in the computer labs.
Yeah.
So we would like go into the computer labs, install Quake.
Yeah.
And we'd play Quake for like 12 hours until our legs wouldn't work. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So what we had to do with a LAN party is like you bring your console, the Xbox console, and a bunch of TVs to a person's house. And you could string up 8 TVs, I think, at some point.
I never did that.
And it was just, you have a bunch of TVs scattered around the house. And you had Xboxes, and you would just do Capture Flag or different kind of games on Halo. You would do it like all day. And we had LAN party Sundays, so we'd show up around 3 with our TVs and our consoles. We'd stay up all night.
When was this in your life?
Oh, this was college. Well, I was late in college, so this had to be 2004 or 5. Maybe 6.
College.
Yeah,
so
college.
Like
I was old in college, so I was like kind of an old man in college. But yeah, it was still tremendously lots of fun. That's a fantastic experience. And the Xbox,
I think during that time I was a PC gamer, so I did not have an Xbox 360.
And that's the thing. That's when Xbox was competing against PC games and stuff like that at the time, and so you had to decide. I couldn't afford the PC games, and plus I don't know how to use a mouse and keyboard to play games. And so the Xbox allowed me to bridge that gap and still play PC games so I could do it on the Xbox. The problem was you couldn't upgrade the Xbox. You could upgrade the computer. So it always timed down on you. The Xbox controller, the original controller, the Duke. Oh, so good. Have you ever seen the Duke?
I've seen it. I've never used it.
It was
massive.
It was ergonomically perfect. It was heavy, but it would wrap around your fingers perfectly. And once you got used to it, there was no going back. It was.
I think they made a new Duke for the Xbox.
They did
Series X.
They did, but the current Xbox controller is perfect. Like I don't. Yeah. You don't really need to. Yeah. The current controller they have for Xbox is the perfect controller. It's hands down perfect. Yeah, man. I used to play a lot of Xbox. It wasn't just. Halo, I think the original Splinter Cell was on there as well, which also took up a lot of my life. And, of course, other games like Final Fantasy and stuff. So, there's lots of fun. All right, what's your next control?
My number 3 is Nintendo Switch.
Okay, yeah.
Just the console design. And now there's so many things that are copying that. You know, you've got the Steam Deck and Asus has their version, and there's like a Legion or something. I don't know. But yeah, they like revolutionized video games yet again with the Switch. It has Breath of the Wild, which is my favorite video game of all time, my favorite Zelda game of all time. Snipper Clips was a pretty cool game. I love co-op games that you can play in the same room. That's one. It was really good. It used the Joy-Con in a pretty cool way where you're like cutting stuff up and just collaborating to like solve problems. They have Tetris 99, which is like taking the Fortnite idea of like 100 or 99 players and you play until you're down to one, but it's Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. And then there's Splatoon 2 and 3 on the Nintendo Switch. And if you like shooters but you don't like violence, Splatoon's your game.
Yeah, I've been
because you're shooting ink around. You're not killing people with bullets and rockets and whatnot.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth about this. It's like I want to have a system for travel, but when I go out of town or to my in-laws or when I do anything, I don't have time to play games. So I think it'd be a waste of money for me to buy it. Like I'd get it, but okay, when I'm on the road or when I'm doing things, I got to play some games. Like I will never do that. Like I think when I travel, the schedule's so tight that by the time I get to go to bed, I just want to go to sleep. You know. And then plus,
I almost never play it in portable mode. I almost always play it docked, but my kids use it portable.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah. And plus, like the iPhone, or whatever, they have so many different games. So you can just play. You can just play that. That's fine. Yeah. So I'm not big.
Right. Yeah. When you're portable.
Yeah. I'm not a big portable fan. Maybe when I get older, maybe I could get.
But it's like, I don't know about the Switch 2, but like the, these portable games like that are great for like a modern version of the LAN party.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What number am I on? 2?
2. Oh. What's your number 2?
My number 2 this is a tough one. I'm going to say Xbox 360.
Okay.
And the Xbox 360 was not
2 Xboxes in a row.
Yeah. Well, I'm an X. Okay. So here's the deal. Once I went Xbox, I decided not to go PlayStation because I had to make a choice. I can't buy.
I kind of did this. Well, I kind of did the same thing, except I do have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I mean, I could buy a PlayStation, but like I don't have time to play games.
That's
on
the
both.
thing. Yeah. Right.
So,
I don't. Yeah.
And I have to. And like now, with the game, like there's so many games out now. I don't have to really choose anymore. Like I can have fun on Xbox and PlayStation. So which system do I want? And like I understand the Xbox infrastructure so well now that I'm just an Xbox guy. And I'm not saying anything bad about PlayStation. I'm not one of these guys like PlayStation, Xbox. But like, that's just dumb. But I am saying I have to choose a side. Now, Xbox 360...
I will say the Xbox is the more polished like user experience compared to the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think so. But the 360 had bad launch. That game, like, really? Not only the launch, but the Red Ring of Death. You ever heard about that? It was a manufacturer error on the game console itself. So your Xbox, if you bought Xbox 360 at some point, it would die. I got the Red Rings of Death. It was terrible. I was playing a game and all of a sudden it stopped and then the 3 rings came up. I was like, no. You have to sit. And like I sent it back and I sent it back again. It was just a disaster. That console was terrible. I actually was very upset with Xbox 360. I just did not enjoy the experience of it. I think the console was crap from the beginning. And I did not like that experience. I don't know why I'm putting it as my favorites. But the games were great. The games were great.
Yeah. What games are great?
Halo 3 was fantastic on there. Like Splinter Cell was fantastic on there. And also you could do a backup. You could do backwards compatibility, which means all your old games will play. You can play that on 360 too, which is fun. It was a DVD player at the time, so you can play DVDs. I think the console was just trying to do too much. And that's one of the reasons why it kind of just, died.
Gears of War was my game on the Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, dude. Oof, man. Gears of
War is what made me buy. So I had, I was a PC gamer during like the Xbox time. At some point I switched from Windows to Mac. So I was no longer a PC gamer. And then Gears of War came out. So I bought an Xbox 360 for Gears of War. And by that time, I think they had fixed the red ring of death, so I never had that problem with my console. But like Gears of War was it for me. I loved that game.
Yeah, the game was great. Who'd you play with? Who'd you play co-op with?
I played it mostly single player, but I played co-op with. I think you and I played co-op some Gears of War.
We probably did. I would play it again with you.
But like that game is just so good. I have the remastered version for the Xbox Series X. I still think that it's like one of the, as far as like shooter games, the original Gears of War is hard to beat. They did such a good job of making it feel cinematic and a video game.
We should do a Gears of War night, a remastered Gears of War night one day.
I'm in.
Yeah, it would be fun. I would totally play that. That sounds fun. I haven't played Gears of War in forever. The chainsaw was the best. It's like right. And not just that. Did you play?
And I love that they included the reload mechanic.
Yeah,
where you're basically the reload mechanic's the same way that you play golf.
Yeah,
video game golf.
Yeah.
And so you're using that video game golfing mechanic to reload your gun.
There was nothing more.
And if you reload your gun the right way, you get like more damage.
There was nothing better feeling than hitting that perfect reload. There was no better feeling.
Right.
It was a little mini game, but that hit was perfect. Like bing. Like,
and like the guitar sound when you clear the level. Yeah.
But that reload feel. I can't believe no one's copied that. That reload, because at first you had the time that you looked at, but after a while when you were playing, you just knew it.
Right.
Like
it was just natural.
And then like it just like pop. You got that little trigger in your finger. The character reload real quick. So good. But did you play PvP? I got real deep into Gears of War PvP, and at first it was super hard, but later I was sniping people, which seems insane. Dude, like sniping someone in that game is the most satisfying thing, especially if you're a last person. You got one more person, you're a last person alive, and they look up and you just snipe their head off. The game instantly ends. It's like, bam, you won. Bam, you won. It's like
right.
So
I didn't get that deep into PvP, but I loved Horde mode.
Horde mode was fun.
And nobody has beat Gears of War Horde mode yet.
No,
like it's crazy to me. I keep wanting somebody to have a better Horde mode than Gears of War, and nobody's done it.
No, their Horde mode was perfect, and it felt like it was you and a few players versus the world. Like you just really had to be on top, and if anybody was weak, the whole thing fell apart. Gears of War Xbox 360, fantastic system, even though it has problems.
Right. My number 2 is the Nintendo Wii. Don't even laugh. Don't laugh.
That's the worst console ever, man. The Wii is so bad.
It's my second favorite console.
Oh my god, dude, the little Wii. I hate that. I hated that whole concept.
The controller design.
No, it was terrible.
Hugely innovative.
No, it wasn't.
Anybody could play a Wii game, from grandparents to 5-year-olds.
Listen, that was a make money scheme on Nintendo. It was like we're going to make a bunch of money, and then they didn't.
What's the Xbox?
No,
what's the
they
Xbox?
actually had good games. But Nintendo Wii, they came out with a few games, and it was a concept, but then that's it. It just fell apart.
No.
Yes.
You know how many Thanksgivings I would bring my Wii to my parents' house?
How many?
And the entire family would play freaking Wii bowling together.
How many?
I don't know, at least 5.
Well, I guess that you get your money's worth from that.
And there was never a time where I could bring a video game home for Thanksgiving and my parents would play it with me, except for the Wii.
Okay, you got that's 1 point towards Wii. Fine.
The Wii Sports that came with it, and then Wii Sports Resort were the killer games for it. I spent countless hours playing Wii Tennis, Wii Bowling, the golf.
The thing is, here's the deal.
It was just so much fun.
Here's the deal. When Wii came out, the term casual gamer came into play. And the idea was the game industry is moving away from hardcore to more casual players. And people got really upset by that because it felt like we were being abandoned. I kind of felt like that at first. Now I don't.
Gamers got it.
Yeah, but now I don't care. Gaming is such a part of our culture that it's no big deal anymore. But the Wii just wasn't for me. It was not a console designed for me. It didn't have any hardcore games.
Did you have one?
No, I didn't have one. No, absolutely not. And anybody who's listening to this right now, go dig it. Go get in your closet and dig out your Wii because you don't have it anymore. Like you know.
I accidentally sold mine.
You accidentally sold yours? How do you?
I was like gathering up video game stuff to sell, and I was so excited that I accidentally like packed up my Wii too. And I took it to like one of these, secondhand video game places, and I sold it with everything else.
Well, it was an accident. You did on purpose.
It was an accident.
You can go buy a new one.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I hate that stupid. Oh gosh, so dumb.
Dude, if you had played the Wii Golf or the Wii Tennis,
I've played a Wii. I know what it's like. I just don't like it. All right, my number one console is, of course, the Xbox 360 X that I have currently.
Xbox Series X.
Xbox Series X. It's the most powerful console I've ever had. There's rumors that they're going to make a new console soon, like an upgrade for it. I don't know if I'll get that, but like this Xbox 360 has been perfect since I've gotten it. Like no problems. Like works beautifully. Just like everything.
Yeah, I've got one too.
You have one too, right?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it's also my number one, Xbox Series X.
Wow, just so good. And like it sort of like represents like what I've always wanted in a console. There is one problem with it, and I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as like the games, of course, I play Destiny on it, Destiny 2 on it all the time. But I also play right now. I play Path of Exiles. I play that sometimes.
What is that?
It's like a top-down shooter, which is no big deal. But there's lots of other games on it that I love to play. But mainly it's Destiny 2, which is pretty much all I play now. But as far as like the user experience, the apps, the controller feels great. Yeah. The Bluetooth synergy, you can connect a keyboard to it. Just like everything you need for a console.
Have you done that?
Huh?
Have you connected a keyboard to it?
Oh, yeah, I have a keyboard. So, like, if you play a game and you want to talk to someone, you can just, I have a little USB keyboard that I have on the couch. I just type it real quick. My wife laughs at me.
Okay.
I have the keyboard out and a notepad and my controller. My wife's like, "Oh, it's serious today." And I was like, "Yeah, I got a serious project." I have a mic.
What game requires the keyboard and the notepad?
Some of the puzzles in Destiny 2 are hard, man. Like, you really have to know what you're doing.
That's true. That's
really tough.
One of my least favorite parts of Destiny.
Yeah, the puzzles are hard. But overall, the only bad thing about the Xbox Series X is that the Ultra Blu-ray player that it has, the Ultra High Def Blu-ray, does not work. Does not work. It is a manufacturer error.
Dude, I forgot that. I was like, what are you talking about? I forgot that there's a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I gotta buy an Ultra High Def Blu-ray player. I have a bunch of Blu-rays that I like, and like I like the look of the Ultra High Def ones, so I need to buy one. But it makes me upset that it doesn't work anymore. But it's a manufacturer error; it just doesn't work. But other than that, I've had no problems with Xbox Series X.
What are the games you're playing other than Destiny 2?
So as far as like a hobby game, like every day I'll go log in to be Destiny 2. But when I take a break, I'll play some Path of Exiles. What other games are?
I gotta check that out.
You might like. I don't know, Mike. You don't like complicated stuff, and this game is super complicated.
There was a top-down shooter on the PlayStation that was awesome. I can't remember the name of it, but it was amazing.
No Man's Sky. You played that?
I played that, and that didn't.
Yeah, it's too much.
I want to like it, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean the ability to have infinite places to go in a ship. No Man's Sky. I might log into No Man's Sky today. That sounds fun. As far as like other shooters, I mean, I played Call of Duty on there. All the different iterations of Call of Duty I played. As far as like games I've really sunk a lot of time into.
I'm surprised there isn't a free-to-play Call of Duty yet.
I'm surprised that too. I bet there is, right? There has to be.
I don't think there is.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Gears of War. I played Gears of War on Xbox Series X. What is that's the last big one? Gears of War 5, right?
Yeah. I have that. I don't think I've actually played it much.
Yeah.
So if you've got that, we could play that.
Yeah, I'm into it. Starfield. Did you play Starfield?
No, Is that good?
Yes.
I heard it wasn't that good.
I think you'd like it. Elden Ring, play a lot of that. Cyberpunk 2077, really good. Tomb Raider games, play a lot of those. Forza Horizon, play a lot of that. The Mass Effect series, I can't believe I didn't mention the Mass Effect series. But the Mass Effect series is on Xbox 360, but I still play a lot of it on the X.
Yeah, I know you're huge into that. Yeah,
you should play Mass Effect. It's great.
I played one of them. I love the soundtrack for that game is awesome. Yeah, the gameplay was pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, we're at the point now, and I think Microsoft even talks about this. Like, we're at the point now where Microsoft doesn't care if Sony has games on their platform or they put games on Sony's platform. They don't care. They know that money's money, money's green. And so I'm really curious I'm looking forward to this new world where, like, first of all, gaming is not stigmatized anymore, which is great. And then two, I can play whatever I want on any system I want in the way I want, and it's fine. You know? And I'm 48 years old and I'm still playing video games. And it's like, that's just kind of like, I don't watch much television, and the reason why is because I play video games. Like, it would be weird if I watched a lot of TV and play a lot of video games. Then I got problems.
Yeah, yeah. Mine's also the Xbox Series X, and the reasons is Forza Motorsport is amazing. It's like the best looking racing game ever, in my opinion, or at least from what I've seen. There's probably stuff for the PC that's better and looks better, but as far as like console gaming, that's it. Gran Turismo, I used to love that game, but it's fallen off a cliff in my opinion. It's just so weird these days. Fortnite, I play Fortnite on the reg. I cannot do the build mode, so I'm a zero build Fortnite player. I'm too old to build stuff in Fortnite. Overcooked's a pretty cool game for co-op. I told you I love couch co-op games. That's a game that I play with my kids. Diablo 4. Play that with my wife. She's huge into Diablo. And I kind of like Diablo. I really liked the first Diablo, and like all the sequels I've been a little bit softer on, but Diablo 4 is pretty good. So we play that a good bit. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time is another great couch co-op game.
Oh, that's fun.
I actually bought that for Valentine's Day so my wife and I could play one year. And Minecraft Dungeons is like Diablo, but it's in Minecraft. It's like a little simplified version of Diablo. They've got an awesome, like gorgeous Doom Eternal. Have you played Doom?
No. Yeah, of course I played Doom, yeah.
Doom Eternal.
No, I have not. It's scary. It's monsters. It's scary.
It's so good looking. It's like the best looking game, I think, other than like Forza, you know. And then Sea of Thieves is really cool, and I wish I could find more people to play it with me. But it's not a free to play game. It should be a free to play game. I think that would, if it was, because it's the kind of game that you're not gonna. You don't think you'll like it until you play it, I think.
I have some people who play Sea of Thieves, Mike. I can make some inquiries. Maybe they won't.
Yeah, man. Make some connections.
I don't play Sea of Thieves, but maybe we can have a Sea of Thieves night. They've been asking for it, so maybe that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Right. I would love to do that. Yeah, I think of it like it's a good game to talk to people, you know, while you're playing games. Because it's kind of like golf, you know. You're sailing between islands and doing stuff. There's stuff to do while you're sailing from one island to another, but also while you're sailing from one island to another, it's just a good time to like talk to people.
Yeah. That's and at the end of the day, I do the same thing. Like I'll talk to my friends that I know online when we play games, and it's just nice that even when we're getting older, we can still like communicate and have fun with friends. It's nice. Like you're constantly a little kid, which is good.
Yeah.
Those are our favorite consoles. I think, Mike, that we're going to have to do top 5 games, right? Like at some point.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Totally.
We can do a top 5. You know what? We should probably do a top 5 racing game. That'd be kind of fun.
I'll
have to play some. I'm terrible at racing games, but that'd be kind of fun. All right, so Mike, how can you tell our listeners how to listen to our show? Get more people in Spain to listen to our show, and get more people to listen to our podcast.
Hit the share button. Share this with your group chats, your friends, your family, whoever you play video games with. I don't know. Maybe you can hit the share button, share it with your video game players or something. I don't know. Maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. Just hit the share button, share whatever way you like to talk to people. Hit the share button and do that. Yeah. Maybe it's a group chat. Maybe it's threads.
Mm-hmm. And two, we also have another podcast called Super Sideshow, and we just did an episode on Captain America: Brave New World. So if you want to check that out, Mike, you put that in the show notes, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there'll be a link in the show notes to that. Also, if you just look up 5 with Mike and Jay in Apple Podcasts, that'll show up and you can see both of our podcasts there. So,
cool. All right, the future.
Find us.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time.